Welcome! Another day, another Haiku screencast, and this is my third part of my programming in Haiku tutorial, screencast tutorial basically. And as you saw on the last video, we created a Hello World application, and in this screencast we will improve the Hello World application a little bit, and we will work a lot with the BBook. So I'm on desktop 1, and I will open my BBook here, and as you can see in my tracker I already launched Paladin in BAlert. So let me go to the interface kit documentation, because we will use it a lot today, and then let's switch to the desktop 2 in here. And as you can see, this is exactly where we left off last time. The only thing that I did was removing the comment that I had here for the BString constructor. And I hope you played a little bit with the program, the bfollow and the bwillDraw and the btitle window and so on. And I will show you one little nifty or nasty thing or very handy thing for the bfollow left. First of all, let me execute our main window application. And as you can see here, or our Hello World example application, of course, as you can see here, we have our the BString view in here, and if I resize my window, nothing really happens. The only thing happens when I resize the top left. You can see it will follow the top left, so it has always the same distance to the top left. And this happens, of course, if I'm also resizing only to the left, see, to follow the top left, basically. If we change this to bfollow all, you will see that when I'm now resizing, it will resize to all 4 corners basically. So no matter which corner I'm resizing to, it will resize to all corners. And this will be handy later on when we will use a BView to basically change our background color of our application. But first of all, I want to show you a nice little trick. As you can see here, we have this white space, pretty much white space, as we just created our brect in our BString view a little bit too big, and so we have some white space in here. There's a nice little trick that I learned also, of course, after I created my screencast yesterday, that you can just resize your object, in this case your BString view, to the containing string. And to do this, we just go to our BBook, and I'll show you where I found it. Go to the BString view, and as you can see here in the hook functions, for example, you don't find it in here. But if you go right up, you will see that the BString view is derived from the BView. And if you click on the BView, you will basically get one of the functions. The interesting thing here is that derived in this case means that the BString view is something like a special version of the BView. So this means that the special version of the BView, the BString view, has this functions in here, this methods basically, that the BView does not have. But it has also all the capabilities that a normal BView has. So if you click on BView here, you can use all the functions that the BView has in here, also in the BString view. And yeah, we will do this. We will go to hook functions here and scroll a little bit down. You will see that there is a method called Resize to Preferred. And if you read what it is, it resizes the BView's frame rectangle to the preferred size, keeping its left and top sides constant. So this is exactly what we want. So let's just copy this method in here in our application. So we will call hello text, please execute your method called Resize to Preferred. Save it and rerun it, and as you can see here, now we have no white space in our BString view. Of course, if I'm resizing, you can see that there's a space again, because we've set it to bfollow all directions. So we can change it back to follow left only. And what you saw here in our window is that we have now basically a white background, and that we have a B-string view with a normal grayish background, just like every Haiku application just looks like. If you open it up, for example, let's open up some preferences like the appearance preference, you will see that the normal background color is gray and it's not white. And so we will have to change this to gray to have a professional looking application. So to do this, we have to create a new BView. So let's go to our bbook and search for the BView. And as you can see here, we already have the BView open, as we got there from our bstring view and the derived from link. So here we have a constructor, and we can use this constructor, of course, to construct a BView. So let me put this up in here. Let me comment it out again. Would be nice if we had a key combination for commenting out, but there isn't one. So now let's create a new BView. But before we create here a new BView, of course we have to go to the header file, and we have to define a new BView. We want to make it correctly, of course, and we will define it BView and call it default view, something like this. Now we can create a BView. One interesting point someone asked me about: do I have to add the BView as well in here, include the BView? As you see in the BView documentation, in there is a view h file. You don't have to include it, because we have a string view, and the string view is basically derived of the view. So the string view, including the string view, which includes the view, also includes the view in our case. So if you want to make it correctly, of course you can write in here include view, but it is not necessary, as the string view also includes the view itself. So let me close this down, and now let's create our default view. Default view equals new BView. Then we have to use a brect. Now it's a little bit complicated, as you might know that we have basically our window, and we have our size here, so we can use this size. We can set it to the same size, but our BView is in our window, so we have to use other x and y coordinates. And then we have, I think, 400 and 500 and 300. Then we can use constant char here, name for our default view. Let's call it default view, and a resizing method. As we learned from the hello text, basically, we will now use the follow all, which will allow us just to follow all corners when we resize our BView, so that when we resize, that we won't have any white space in our window. And then B will draw. And as you will see now, of course I have to add the child to our window. And as you can see now, if I'm rerunning it, we have exactly the same view as we had before. This is because the default color or background color for a view is white. So we have to set a different color here. And we can do this by just going to the bbook and searching for color. There are lots of methods or functions, so I can tell you it's called set view color. Next, there we have it, set view color, and we can enter a color by RGB color code or red, green, blue, and alpha. So we will use this function basically for our default view. Default view, please execute this function set view color. And now we will do a tricky part. We will use an UI color. This is another method which will pick an UI color from a reserved word, and in this case we background color, and this will basically set the RGB color from this reserved word, and this is basically our normal background color. And let's save this and rerun this, and you will see that our window looks a lot familiar than before. One thing that we missed out was our hello text, because this hello text is still added to the window itself but not to our view. So what do we need to do is just add our child not to the B window, because we're executing it in the B window. It's adding it to the B window when we only execute add child. So we would write in default view, please use the function add child to add the hello text. Save it, rerun it, and basically it looks the same, but now our hello world is drawn on top of our BView instead of the window itself. This is very handy, or this is important, because when you draw a button now on top of the view, for example, and the button somehow hovers the text, you will see you won't see the text. Or if you draw another text on top of the view or something like this. So this is really really important to do, to have basically our elements on the right view. So now we created a view. Let's see if I did forget something. A nice little trick. Let's see if when we resize our window, you can see that it will still look grayish. If we change the B, this is basically the magic of the B follow all. If we change it to B follow left and rerun it, you will see that it won't do the trick. As you can see, if we resize, it will have a white color again, and the B view will only resize to the top left, as you can see here. So let's change it again to B follow all. And another trick that I found in the B book, if we are in the B view, if you click on BRect here, is that there in the BRect is a nice method called, it's not in the BRect, it's in the BView, sorry. In the BView and also in the B window, there is a method called bounce, basically, which will give, as you can see here, returns the BView's bounce rectangle. So it will return the X and Y coordinates of the window. So the same X and Y coordinates of the window, or the BView in this case. As you can see here, this coordinates basically, it's giving the rectangle coordinates back to our function where we call it, basically. So what we can do is just replace our BRect and just typing in here bounce method. The bounce method will call the bounce method for the B window, and then we'll give the coordinates, the X and Y coordinates, for it to the BRect. So this is a more elegant way to have the BView to fully extend to the corners, to the boundaries of the window. And you can use this, of course, also if you're creating multiple views or something and want one button in one view and be as big as the view is. You can use this bounce method also with the BView. So this will change nothing, as you can see here. If I'm running this again, it will still look the same. So these were some little nice improvements for our applications, for our Hello World application. The next big thing that we want to do is just have an interaction somehow. So for having an interaction, the simplest way is to create a button and to create or to let something happen when you press the button. So let's go back to the BBook. Scroll. Let me scroll up. Go to the interface kit, and there you will see in our index that we have a BButton object or BButton class, and there you will see the BButton constructor. Let's copy it because we want to press the spacebar. Let's copy this constructor in our application because we want to create a BButton. Comment it out, of course. Text comment. No. Somehow my touchpad jumps around. And now we can create a BButton. But before we create the BButton with the constructor, we go to our header file. And first of all, we have to include the button H of the button header file, basically. So this one here, the button H file, to use a BButton. So include button H, and then we will just in the private section again define a BButton with the name Hello Button. Save it, close it, go to our main window CPP again, and then create the Hello Button. Hello Button equals new BButton BeAlert. In this case, I don't know where to put the button. I just don't give any coordinates to the BeAlert in this case. You can see this, of course, if you click on BeAlert, that the constructor allows you to just execute it without any commands, without any parameters. And yeah, we have to give the button a name, call it Hello Button, a label, click me, and then a B message. What's a B message? So we can go to our BBook and we can go to the interface kit and see, or we can go up again to the system overview, go to the, don't know where it is, don't think it's in the interface kit. Let's take a look at the interface kit, take a look if there is a B message. No, so I guess it is in the kernel kit. Not in the kernel kit, in the application kit. There we find the B message, and there it's written what a B message basically is. A B message is a bundle of structured information. Every B message contains a command constant and some number of data fields. So what is a B message basically for the button itself here? The B message in this case is for the button. If you press the button, a signal has to be emitted. And committed. A signal has to be sent, basically, and this signal is basically the B message. And we can then later in our switch case just grab this message and just tell the application what to do if this message has been found, what to do, and we will do this, and we will basically create a new B message. So let's type in new B message in here, and we have to give it a keyword. In this case, I will call it Hello Button clicked. Then we will say B follow left in this case. So again, the resizing method. B follow left and B will draw. And hopefully everything is alright. We will add our button to our default view. Default view. Please add the child hello button, and this will basically draw a button. Let's execute it. We will get not only a warning but an error message that the hello button clicked is undeclared. So our keyword is undeclared. To declare this, we just create an enum. Enum is just hard to explain. It looks just like a list. Let me show you this. We're creating an enum just beneath our include section, basically. Enum bracket hello button clicked. We will just give it a unique identifier, just like h button cl. Close our enum here, and this is basically everything. If you have another button or something like this, you would do a comma in here and just add a second, for example, quit button clicked, and give it a unique identifier again, like q button clicked, something like this. Yeah, and this will work. Don't forget the comma when you have multiple elements, and the last element does not need a comma. But let me remove the quit button click, because we don't want to create a quit button. And yeah, now when we execute this, it should work. Oh, character is too long. As you can see here, this is the errors and warnings dialog. I think I showed you this in the first screencast, but if I didn't, this will basically give you the errors that are in your application, in your program code, or the warnings. In this case, you can turn the warnings off if you don't want them. But as you can see, I have one error here, and it's marked by the red color basically. If I double click, it will take me to the line where the error is, and as you can see here is the error, so the line that I added, and as you can see here, the error message is character constant too long. So our character constant is too long, so I will tell it should only be called h click or hcl in this case. Save it, rerun it. In this case, it should work fine. There we have our hello world. I forgot that we of course didn't give an BRect to the button, so the button is basically 0 size big. So what we can do is just what we learned, a nice little trick with the resize to preferred. We can also use it for the hello button, and resize to preferred. This will resize the button to the preferred text basically, so it will resize it to the text click me. Let's save it, rerun it, rebuild it, rerun it, and you will see that we now have on the top left, in the top left corner, our click me button. But nothing really happens if I click it. As you can see, nothing really happens. To make something happen, we know that the message hello button clicked is sent, so we will copy this message. We'll go to our switch statement here. We have our default, but now we can just look if the hello button clicked signal has been sent, or the B message has been sent, and if that's the case, we will just execute this command in here. And which command should it be? I think it should be an error message or something, or an info box or something like this. And this info box is called BeAlert. So let's search for it in the interface kit documentation. There you can see BeAlert, so an alert box basically. There you have the constructor. Just copy this here. Add the BeAlert to our H file, header file basically. It's called only alert. We don't have to declare it here as private. I will create it just dynamically here, because it's only used once, and it doesn't need to be in the header file. And I also want to show you how to declare a function directly in our main Windows CPP without using the header file. So we will create a new BeAlert. As you can see, this is a constructor here. So we create a new BAlert, calling it alert, and a new BAlert. Then we have to give it a text. Hello world would be nice, wouldn't it be? Yeah, we have to give it a title first. Hello world alert. Then we have to give it a text, hello world. Then we have to set the button label for the first button. We will set it to Haiku Rocks. Then we can add a second button and a third button, but we will leave it to nothing, and this is basically explained by the keyword null, which basically means nothing. So do nothing with button 1 label and button 2 label, so this will just create no elements for this label, so those buttons won't be visible at all. Then we can set a button width style. We will set it to the B width as usual. And then an alert type, we will set it to be info alert, as we only want to have an info alert. So then we have to of course execute the BAlert. We just only created a BAlert object. To execute the alert, we just execute the go command. You can see this in the book itself. Also, to fire up on BAlert, you have to use the go method or function, and yeah, we will do this as well. So semicolon, let me add a semicolon here. Let me double check if everything is correct. I think everything should be correct. Rerun the application, and if I'm now clicking on the click me button, you will see a nice alert box, hello world, with the button Haiku Rocks. Isn't that cool? Yeah, this is cool, isn't it? So this is basically everything for this screencast. As you saw, we just created our first interaction with a button in our Hello World application. I just played a little bit, showed you the views, how to add a view, how to make your window look more professional by adding a nice little color on it. I showed you a nice little function called Resize to Preferred, which allows you to just use breg without any parameters in there. For the button, for example, very handy and very useful to resize the button automatically to the contents of the button name, of the button label basically. I showed you how to create a B message for a button, and how to just catch the B message and do something when this B message has been catched. So this is everything for this screencast. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, thanks for watching.